Hello, everyone. Welcome back to 10 Minutes Astrology. Once a week, me and Alejo will be here to help you study astrology. Hello, Alejo. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very good. How are you, Rod?
Not too bad, not too bad. Well, today we are going through the Pluto, transiting Pluto in fifth house. But hold on. Before we started, I still want to remind everyone on the 15th of March, Saturday, 4 p.m. UK time, Alejo going to give a talk about Neptune-Saturn conjunction. Alejo, could you talk a little bit about, remind us what you're going to talk?
Yeah, so the idea of Saturn, the idea of this kind of consistent, grounding, maturing principle, and then the idea of Neptune, and perhaps the principle of reality, I would say, with Saturn. And Neptune is more idealistic, dreamy, and dissolving. So these two planet meeting really bring different qualities together. So the idea is to try to explore how this has been played out in history in the past, and also to do some exercise to see how does it feel in a more personal way, so you can then apply it to your chart or other people's charts. Yes.
Cool, cool, cool. So please don't miss this talk, okay? Go to find our website, aouk.co, and book your place before it's too late. Well, Alejo, how could transiting Pluto in fifth house has impact to us?
So Pluto in the fifth. So the fifth house is about so many different things: lovers, fun,
Yeah.
children, creativity, self-expression. And I think I'm gonna take the idea of what we enjoy and the idea of joy, yes, and self-expression. So when Pluto goes through there, again, there's this idea that perhaps the things that we used to find uh, invigorating, that gave us this sense of life is beautiful. They are not working that way anymore. We're starting to feel a little bit depleted, perhaps.
Mhm.
I think again there might be this idea of compulsion racing here. So I think it's very important when Pluto is in the fifth house to pay attention to what activities you choose to do, because if you start doing activities that can give you quick fun, you might become kind of a bit addicted to those activities. So like gambling and stuff, if you suddenly feel the rush, yeah, when I bet
Mhm.
and then I win, I feel so good. And this is fun. You may get a bit stuck there with Pluto taking you to this kind of dark place. Um, and we could say the same thing with lovers. And perhaps you're starting to enjoy a lot of romances and you have start to have a
Mhm.
lot of romantic stories and one lover after other. And it's not that I'm against having many lovers. I think it's great, enjoy life. But the question is, are you really connecting with these lovers, or is it the compassion just to feel the joy and the fun of it? Just the sexual
Mm.
arousal, and that's it. So I think Pluto might take us to these kind of areas in of about joy. This kind of exposing us to this sense of um, yes, kind of drive to try to have complete, absolute joy. And this may actually create the opposite reaction. We may be detached from life and reality until we realize that these activities that we're doing, are they really giving us joy? Are they really
Mm.
giving us happiness? So this is probably the moment in which we succumb, we go to this underworld, and we have the possibility of reshape ourselves and come back up. And when we come back up, I think this idea of self-expression might change. So the way we speak, the way we show ourselves, the way we connect with others might have changed, might be kind of more, maybe deep. I don't want to say deeper, but more with more depth, let's say, yes.
Mm. Wow, beautiful. I really like what you say about this kind of if we if what we do for fun, for joy, are not the reconnect to our the real joy of life or the inner things. During the transiting Pluto in the fifth house, it may make us feel empty.
Mm.
Just like maybe some activity or maybe some fun things. For example, I suddenly I couldn't help up myself to not say that. For example, I mean, I realized that for maybe just maybe in the gay world, people talking about the sex, when they say, "Do you want to have fun?"
It's
And
true,
then
yes.
And then maybe through Pluto, transiting Pluto in the fifth house, not fun. It's not fun anymore. It's become a repetition, or you really couldn't find the real fun in the fun. And that is kind of you have to re-exam that activity. That maybe your hobby, maybe the sport, maybe some enjoyment in the things you enjoy. It's lose its meaning. Maybe you no longer feel fun, or maybe you no longer need it. And that is kind of I like this idea. So you re-exam those fun things, and then you maybe feel like, oh no, I don't feel like that anymore. And you have to reconnect yourself. Another thing I want to mention is I don't know, you probably can go a little bit more deep with this because to be honest, psychological astrology is not my really strength. But usually somehow some people will connect the so-called inner child. Like we know the fifth house
Um,
is child in the chart in the horoscope. But the inner child is also another way how we see how we enjoy our life, because it's supposed to be the child should be enjoy their life, should be full of a play and a playful and what adventure and the creativity. Somehow, if we cannot enjoy those fun creativity in our life, maybe during the transiting Pluto in the fifth house, maybe we have to re-examine those issues. What do you think?
I think it's a great idea. The fifth house is the house of children, so how we connect with children. And I think from a Jungian perspective, if some people don't like children. And I think usually when this happens, I wonder what's happening with their inner child. What experience did they have as children, and how do they connect with their experiences? So sometimes you see that very kind of mature, responsible people actually they like children, and it is the people who seem less responsible in life that don't like children. And I think it's because their relationship with their inner child is not flexible enough. It's kind of there's some
Mhm.
kind of conflict there, and maybe that's why they them as adults they still behave like children instead of behaving
Uh-huh.
as adults, right? What we want, like what we want, let's say, what we would aim for probably is to have a flexible adulthood. Like you said, sometimes we can be very responsible, but when it's the time
Mhm.
to play and joke, we can also play and joke, right? So
Mhm.
I think with Pluto going through the fifth house, these issues about how I relate with my inner child, what kind of childhood I have, what is my idea of children, what is my idea of play, maybe coming into analysis. And yes, it may imply perhaps discovering some sad truths about my own
Mhm.
inner child,
Mhm.
but also the possibility of um, re. How do you say when you hurt somebody and then you do something to make it up?
Compensate, is it?
Yeah, yeah, not
Or
compensate, more like
redemption?
um I can't find now, I forgot the right word. But okay, you get the idea, right? So you get this chance to perhaps by exposing yourself to these wounds of this inner child to actually heal these wounds.
Mm.
And if you have a good connection with your inner child, because maybe you are like, well, I don't want to say good or bad. If you have, let's say, a flowing connection with your
Mhm.
inner child, maybe there's also something that's going to be transformed there. Maybe you're going to see new aspects of it that you hadn't noticed before, or in some way it's going to bring you new vitality.
Wow. Thank you, Alejo. Because, I always heard about this, but I always wondering what would happen when Pluto goes through it, and how we deal with this inner child with the Pluto transit. Somehow, could that be a, interesting or crisis or something? But thank you for giving us this idea. Well, thank you, Alejo, and thanks everyone join us for today's 10 minutes astrology. And next week, we are going to move to sixth house. See you next time. Bye bye.